Hello, and welcome to Empower Hour. Thank you so much for being here today. All of the beautiful ladies of Solano. I know I've already said that once, but welcome again, and welcome to newcomers as well. We're super excited to have you here at our Solano Empower Hour. And more people will be joining us as we go through the hour, but we're super excited to have you here today. So let's do a quick introduction. Each person, can you please say your name, what you do for a living, or your company you work for, or both, and also something that you're excited about for April specifically. I know April's going to kind of be an interesting month with what's going on with the quarantine, but there's got to be something to be happy about, right? If not, then what's the point of living? I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm going to let, I know that was kind of harsh, sorry. I'm going to let Christina go first.
Hi, ladies. I'm Christina Matcham. I am with the Women's Business Network, founder 10 years ago, where we help women promote their businesses. We usually do face-to-face meetings, but now we're doing virtual online meetings, which is what we're doing for now, temporarily. And I also have Melaleuca, which is a manufacturing company, which I'm a rep for. It's an online green club that delivers household-type products to customers' doors that are basically green and non-toxic.
Awesome sauce. And what are you excited about for April?
Let me think.
That's a hard question.
What am I thankful for or excited about? Excited about? Well, I'm learning I'm also a fitness coach for Kaya Fit for women. So I'm actually I am excited about teaching women how to be healthy and well fitness-wise, but virtually. So it's been a different challenge, but it's pretty cool through Zoom. So I'm watching them work out through Zoom and I'm coaching them through it. So I'm excited about that, getting better at that.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, Christina. All right. And then is it Carly?
Yeah.
Carlene?
Yeah, either one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hello. Welcome.
That's okay. I'm Carlene. I own Carlene Imagery. I'm a portrait and fine art photographer. I forgot what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, and what are you thankful for or excited about in October? April.
I'm just excited. I've been doing a lot of creating in different forms than I've have in the past. So I'm just excited and thankful to continue doing that.
Yay. I think, were you at the wardrobe event?
Yeah, we met. Mm-hmm.
I thought so. I was like, wait, I feel like I know you. And did you do Kaya's portraits?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those were beautiful.
Thank you.
You're a rock star. Cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so Sheree, do you want to just do a quick introduction?
Hi, I'm Sheree Grace, and I am with Sacred Living with Joy and Grace. With Sacred Living, we really dive into ritual practices, what it means to really live a sacred lifestyle, just in general and also in business. Aside from that, I'm a yoga teacher and I teach something called Kriya Yoga, which is breath work. What am I excited for, looking forward to? I think also, I think right now we're all really exercising this virtual muscle. And I'm working on creating a yoga program virtually, which has been something I'm super apprehensive about doing. I really like to work with my people one-on-one and in person. So this time has really kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I'm excited to see where that ends up.
I love it. And your hair looks beautiful today.
Thank you. I used a curling iron for the second time in like 3 years.
I love it. Dude, I was all about putting my hair up because my roots are so bad I can't even have it down right now. It's driving me crazy. Yeah. Completely crazy. Okay, so it's Maria, right? I know we've met several times. No, Maria. Okay, so so I'm sorry, but your nickname is Fields iPad MC2.
Oh yes, hi. I'm Rosa.
Rosa, I'm so sorry, Rosa. I'm like, I know we've met so many times, but why am I drawing a blank? I'm sorry, Rosa. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I do apologize. We have the privilege to meet each other for several times. And hi, everyone. The iPad, like you said, is Field Senior Living. I work for Magnolia Court. and is under the umbrella of Field Senior Living, Assisted Living and Memory Care. We are located in Vacaville, and I am thankful that we work taking care of seniors, and we are considered essential. So we are quarantine in place safely. I'm happy and thankful that we have no cases in the community with over 100 residents taking care. Something that I have learned and looking forward, and I think is going to stay with us, is to do a reflection of the times that we live in today, because I enjoy seeing how the kids are playing with their parents and how the pets are benefit from the owners taking them for a walk. So, and at work, this quiet time has offered me the opportunity to not only do the community relation in the building, but also to enjoy and do activities with the resident. That's not always the case. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot of positive things to be thankful. And I'm thankful for you being here today and the opportunity. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, Miss Joy.
Oh, hello, hello. I'm Joy Kaya, part of Sacred Living with Joy and Grace. And Sheree did a great job explaining like kind of what we are about, and we're looking forward to having that conversation today. And you know, Sheree and I both have a different point of view that comes through for Sacred Living, which is really kind of fun and dynamic. The difference I think between us is, like Sheree had said, is I come in more with the mindset concepts, and she comes in with the movement concepts, like physical movement. So it's kind of fun, although we both do the same. We cross over as well. But a lot of my work right now is around doing soul sessions with individuals, helping them move through and shift. I think there's a lot of discomfort with this pause that we're feeling, and there's a rebirthing taking place. So when I look at the month of April, for me, I can really see what's only just shortly in front of us, not all the way, because we have a journey in front of us. We don't know what everything's going to look like, but I can see ever so slightly that I think it's time for us to let go and burn away the things that no longer serve us. And that shift in the month of April, I think, is where we're really going to see it. The breaking away and the releasing. So I look forward to that. You know, believe it or not, I think that letting go is a good thing. So make room for beauty to come.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Great. And then we had Alicia on the line. It looks like we lost her, but hopefully she can join us again. And if she can join back up again, I'll have her introduce herself. She's going to be a speaker in the future for Empower as well. So my name, I'm Stephanie Mears. I'm with Desert Capital Management Group. I'm a vice president. I'm also the CEO of Women's Empower Hour, as well as the president of the Butterfly Element, and of course, a published author, speaker, and also podcaster. So I'm looking for more to add to my plate. However, no, that was a joke. However, you know, I feel like there's a lot of delegation going on right now, and I'm very proud of myself for letting go of stuff that's not serving me. Thank you, Ms. Joy, for that. So what I'm thankful for the month of April is the opportunity to spend so much time with my family. I'm really enjoying this time with my family, and also really enjoying the time that I'm getting to where I feel like I'm able to continue to improve myself without having to, so I can feel stronger at the end of this. So that's really been something I'm really looking forward to, but also something I've been grateful for since this whole thing started. I mean, we can all be very, very negative very easily with with what's going on. I mean, very easily, especially if you turn on the news for 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but if I turn on the news, by the end of the 5 minutes, I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is so much. But if we stay positive and remember that there's a reason for all of this, we don't know what it is, and we remember that, you know, we can either come out of this weaker than we were before, hurting financially, hurting physically, hurting in all of these different ways, or we can come out even stronger than we started. And that is by changing your situation, learning how to adapt, but how to improve moving forward. So not that something like this will happen again anytime soon, hopefully, but then you have the opportunity to at least utilize your business and yourself and in any other way in a more positive manner moving forward, because you've learned something. right? So that's something that I've really personally loved. Okay, so let's go over some of the stuff what's going on with Empower moving forward. So we have a few more virtual meetings coming up in this month of April. We have Solano today. Obviously, you guys are all here, so thank you again. We have an Empower Hour for Roseville and Elk Grove as well for next week. And then Texas is actually putting a hold on everything right this moment because their town, I guess, has a pretty bad case of it. So they're trying to stay away from it. It was just, they're overwhelmed right now, so I can't blame them. So we're going to continue on with that. We're going to be putting on, once we can physically meet again, we're going to be putting on a self-defense class that's free. And then we're also going to be putting on a yoga day for anybody who's interested in yoga. Again, that's all when we get a chance to move forward. And we're always open to trying out new opportunities for the women to help them to get to another level. Like, the yoga thing, a lady came to me and was like, hey, have you ever thought about doing a yoga thing? And I was like, I like yoga. Sure, let's try it out. So people come to me with options or ideas, and I'm like, I'm always open to trying it out as long as it's not against our moral compass. Let's do it. So there's that. Going forward, you will not see me personally be posting a whole lot more on Empower Up pages or really aside from on my personal page. We have a marketing person who's taken over completely with all of the management of the marketing, creating the marketing tools, the whole 9 yards. So you won't be seeing me much more on there except for through the end of April, so I can video and move forward with all this. But aside from that, we have a marketing person. I'm super excited. Her name is Esther Van Werp, and she's a rock star, and I think you guys are all going to love her. And then we also have we have 5 new branches that are wanting to be opened right now, but we'll see if we're going to move forward on those until after things make it to where we can actually physically meet again. So it's all good stuff. Empower is growing, and we're really thankful to all of you guys for making that happen. And we're really thankful that you guys are so supportive in so many ways. Thank you, the Women's Business Network, for letting me post on your guys' page, as well as being our partners. We always appreciate you. So that's a little bit about what's kind of going on with Empower. Does anybody have any questions about how we're able to help people, or any questions at all about Empower or the butterfly element? No? Excellent. Okay, great. And then and when we do physically start meeting again, just a heads up, the meetings will be changed a little bit to where there's more opportunities to get a hold of us at Empower Hour to help you move forward with whatever you choose to move forward with. And also there's going to be some different things, like there's going to be a guarantee of a raffle. There's going to be information cards, question cards, like the whole 9 yards. And then we're also going to be making banners for each location too, so people can find us, because apparently people are having a hard time finding us. Keep it real here, guys. Yeah, it's been a really interesting, eye-opening experience since we all started this whole virtual thing. People are like, well, I don't know where you're at. Oh, okay, well, let's find this, So we're just making changes as we find out that there's an issue, So that's Empower Hour. And then the Butterfly Element is still doing the caregiving event that Jennifer House is putting on. It's all through the Butterfly Element. And then we're also going to be doing a gala potentially in October, depending if the caregiver event has to be changed to October, depending on, again, where everything's at. So we have a lot of really exciting things happening. And if you guys are interested in helping with anything, if you guys are interested in being a part of anything or anything, we are open to the help.
Thank you.
Open to the help. Okay, so I think aside from that, does anybody have anything they wanted to share about any community things that they are putting on, any virtual things? Obviously you can't physically meet, but you guys have anything that you guys wanted to talk about? What is the next WBN, Christina?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't want to interrupt you. It's going to be next Thursday, so we would love to have you join us. It's the 16th of April from 11:30. It's probably about an hour. But our last couple of virtual meetings have been pretty awesome. We've had about 18 to 20 women attend, all women entrepreneurs. So I'd love to have you if you would like to join. It is going to be, actually I could give you the login info now. It's zoom.us, and the ID number is going to be, the ID number is actually my cell number for future Stephanie. So it's always the same. So it's 707-249-3823. And I can post it up on the Empower page too.
That would be really great, because I know I always am like, oh, I want to do that, and then I'll forget completely and be like, oh, that's my calendar or whatever, So if it's in my calendar, I won't forget. So I'll put it in my calendar.
Yeah, so you'll be able to have opportunity to, tell us a little bit about your businesses and meet some other like-minded businesswomen.
I love it. I love it. Perfect. Thanks, Christina. Anybody else have any other things that they wanted to talk about, or any other events on this?
Well, we have, so Sheree and I will talk a little bit about what we have so that people can get connected and get more. But I have Illuminate Live, which is happening, where Stephanie is going to be a panelist this Friday. Is it this Friday? No, next Friday. Next Friday, you're a panelist. Next Friday, we do a live stream on Facebook, and we have anywhere from 3 to 5 panelists each week. And we're just talking about what's moving right now. This is actually something that has been birthed from what we are experiencing. So we are coming in, and I'm always looking for individuals who may want to share and speak. I'm always looking for more influencers, more leaders, to keep that dialogue really beautiful and amazing and help us evolve through it. We have usual suspects too, like Sheree will be joining us again and things like that. But I'm always looking for, more leaders to come in and share and hold that space with us. We're getting a lot of testimonials of how it's really helping people move through this time. So it feels really good. It's like giving back. And I'll make sure a link goes up if that's okay, Stephanie, because I think that it's just an opportunity to come together and fill our cups.
I love it. Thank you, my friend. Anybody else? Yeah.
Oh, it's for fun, but on Saturday nights I help host an open mic through Zoom with women all over the country and Canada. You can share poems, share excerpts from books, sing, kind of just whatever you feel like sharing. You have 5 minutes, and then we could not critique, but we comment if we want, or it's just kind of more connection.
Oh my God, I love that. Can you post that on Empower? I absolutely love that. I wrote the very first poem in probably 15 years last week. I was like, oh my God, I'm like getting creative again. Like, this is weird.
I love it. Coming out. Yeah.
Coming out. Exactly. Yeah. Wait, I'm creative. I forgot I was creative,
So it's pretty fun. And it's at 6:30 on Saturday nights. I'll post the Zoom link.
I would love that. Thank you so much. I would really love that. I would totally be there on Saturday night. Wait, are we allowed? Oh, I'm not allowed to drink alcohol. Never mind.
No, you can. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about if you're not personally, but you can do whatever you want.
I mean, a glass of wine involved in that might be really entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
I love it. I love it. Okay, anybody else? No?
That's
Okay,
good.
perfect. Okay, great. Well, then in that case, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Ms. Joy and to Ms. Sheree and let you guys talk about all of the wonderful things that you are. Do you want me to do a quick introduction?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay, let me grab my phone real fast so I can read it off.
I love you, Stephanie. I love you.
If I do the introduction, it's just going to be, I love you guys. You're both awesome and amazing and amazing. I don't know. Hold on.
You like that too.
Let me just read it off for you guys so it sounds much prettier, okay? All right, cool. My goodness, it's here we are. Okay, so sacred living is all about curating a life that you love. Joy Kaya and Sheree Grace have collaborated to bring you a fresh new look on how to create a life full of sacred practice. We believe, they believe, not me, we believe, I believe too, I guess, they believe that you can have a strong spiritual connection and can manifest all of the things in life that empower you to live in joy and grace. We do this through our Sacred Living podcasts, speaking in events, workshops, and other sacred ritual product lines. Oh yes, this duo can have a lot of value to offer while always challenging you to dig deeper within to discover your own personal truth. I love it. Thank you so much, ladies, and welcome. And I'm super excited to have you on today. Welcome, Amanda, for joining us. Hello, hello. Hi. So I was going to go ahead and let Amanda, I'll do your introduction after Joy and Sheree are done talking. Is that okay? Perfect. Okay.
Totally fine.
Okay, I love it. Okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and let Joy and Sheree go ahead and start it all up. Guys, go for it.
Hi, thank you. So it says my internet is unstable for whatever reason, so hopefully it bounces back. Internet is not what it once was. It's definitely, we're all on it. It's like, gosh, it's so weird because Sheree and I are usually side by side talking, so it's a little weird because like we both can't talk at the same time, and we tend to do that. So if you guys, I really hope that our conversation inspires you guys today. And I think for me, like we have this podcast, so there's more of these sacred conversations we're having all the time. So we'll make sure you guys get the links so you can come and like listen and play with us. But I know that Sheree and I, we came in with our intention this week, just really like, you know, we had one intention, of course, before this all changed. And then we really wanted to be more aware and be more sensitive to what's happening right now. And so the cool thing I think Sheree was saying yesterday is that like, well, this is what we talk about and do. So our topic really applies now, which is about bringing sacred practice into your life on a daily basis. Sheree, I'm going to just hand it over to you for a second to add, and then we'll get moving.
Okay. Yeah, all of that. I think that right now we are in a time where the practices and rituals and this sacred thing that we talk about is mandatory, right? And I will, from where I stand, it's always mandatory for me. You know, this is my lifestyle. You know, so it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to go out and share. And one of the things that's really feeling good to me is to be able to go out and share freely anything that might support somebody in however they're feeling at this particular time. And I think that we do that in general all the time. But right now is like, this is where like the rubber meets the road right now. And so it's a little bit of a strange feeling, kind of, because, you know, like Joy said, this is like kind of what we do. And we help people, we support people, we hold space for people often that are going through major transition and traumas and dramas and all of that stuff. And so this is just a little bit more of that, a little bit different. You know, I was telling Joy yesterday, you know, like I tend to teach from a place of experience, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with what's going on right now. But I do have a lot of experience with not having enough, trauma, living in conditions that feel isolating. This probably looks like things like PTSD or childhood trauma or things like that. And what I find really interesting during this time, and this is probably going to be something that I bring up a couple of times today because this is kind of what's really, really coming through for me right now, is we talk a lot, and there's been a lot on the news and a lot on social media, everyone talking about how PTSD is really getting triggered right now. So I have something. We don't talk about post-traumatic growth much, right? And I feel what I'm experiencing right now is that. And it's kind of a new concept, not really new. It has been talked about in the past, but like I kind of want to spread that message right now. Because I'm talking with a lot of people that are feeling like they are navigating this pretty well. And so those are the people, and I think Joy and I are in that category. Those are the people that are going to be able to hold space for the ones that are just not there yet, right? And so that's, you know, I think that's a big part of Sacred Living's message always, but definitely right now, big time.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sheree. I love all of that. That's really beautiful. And I'm going to just kind of add, like, I guess my variation, but it's an add to what she just said. And I'm looking at where we are as a void, because there's a life that we once knew. Like a month ago, we knew this other life, okay? And then there's the life that we're going to have at the end of this. And I think the key is we don't really want to be in the past thinking, I can't wait for it to get back to normal. I can't wait. Because if we focus on what was, then we lose the opportunity of right now, right? And if we try to project what we're going to be in the future, then we can spend a lot of energy on things that will never manifest or transpire. But if we can be in the container of what we're experiencing right now and be in the moment, the opportunity to deconstruct, like literally burn away what is no longer serving us, just letting it fall away. And then really taking a look of who we truly are. You know, Sheree talked, I like that post-traumatic growth. I love that. And so that container, I think, is her invitation. You know, like in this container we're in right now, don't worry about where you're going to be in 2 weeks. You know, I literally had a conversation this morning with someone, and they were like, I need you to know this is what things are looking like for me. And I could see that their mind was turning, and they were trying to think beyond 2 weeks from now. And I was like, stay right here with it. It's going to be okay. Like, what does it mean for you right now? Just be right now. And that's so challenging, but that's why we have the practices that we have and that we talk about. And so I guess we want to be in this void, and we want to allow ourselves to let go. You know, I think back, I love what I do. I love the career that I have. I love that I get to help people for a living each and every day. I feel so blessed, right? But there was a part of me that was feeling the push and the pressure to continue to do and like have all this, like continue, like maintain what I had created, as much as I love it. And I didn't even realize it until I had the pause. So I think this pause is key, right? And then this is where Sheree and I, how we kind of connected. Meditation is what her and I have in common, like nobody's business. My background, how I started meditation, was through breath work, and Sheree is the breath work queen, you know, so that was our first connection. She works with a guru. My experience was with a guru, and then my things just changed. I'm more of a melting pot. I do more shamanic journey work and things like that now, but I'm rooted in breath work too. So we have this connection. What we both found was that meditation gives us the opportunity to zoom out and receive clarity on life and kind of let go of attachments of how we think it should be, right? Like that just holds us back. So knowing that that's like our connection, I would love, Sheree, for you to like add meditate. Like what can you add to that as one of the tools we want to share with our friends here today?
Sure. You know, I love talking about that. And
I know.
So I'm going to start off with the beginning of my meditation journey. It was so difficult. Okay. And it is for most people. It's meant to be, in my humble opinion. Our mind is there, and its job is to continue to go. That's what it does, right? It just has this information. It processes this information based on experiences that you may have had. It locks onto it. I use my hands a lot, guys. It locks onto it, and all of a sudden now you've come to this conclusion, and then that's so, right? And so that's the trap that we get in with our mind a lot. When we meditate, we have an opportunity to just slow everything down. We meditate and breathe together, because I'd like to teach Kriya, which is like a combination of meditation, breath work, and movement. So, because sometimes, let me not go on that tangent. Anyways, when I started meditating, it was really difficult for me. So what I ended up doing is I was working with a Buddhist for about 5 years when I first started. And I actually started with my mala beads, which, if you don't know what mala beads are, they're really, they're a sacred tool. They help you in many, many ways. They hold energy. They help you keep track of the mantra. So a mantra is just something that you just recite over and over again, right? And they use the word chant, but recite works too. And so it's just something, it could be something like an intention that you're wanting to set or something like that. So the point of why I'm saying all of this is because meditation doesn't have to look one way. And this is something that I like to teach people a lot, because I've had so many people come to me and they're just, I can't do it. I can't meditate. So I say start small. Start with something that works. If doing mantra work and your mind is like in busy mode and is having a very hard time getting out of busy mode, give it something to do. Give it something to do to keep it busy so that then you can get what you need. And I think mantra is a wonderful way of doing that. You're keeping it busy, and then all of a sudden things can start trickling down. And when I talk about things trickling down, I'm saying this is where we have our aha moments. These are when we get these creative ideas. This is when we allow that story, which we all have, some of us have many, we allow that story to just be quiet for a while and just see what else is possible. And for me, that is absolutely what meditation has taught me. And in those times, that's where I find I'm most creative. That is when, I get an inspired thought, or I get a message that says, just be. You don't have to do. Like, everything is okay. I hear that voice during that time. And it is one of the only times that I can hear the voice, right? And so when you practice a lot, whether it's with meditation or anything, I think what you're doing, you're practicing a ritual, or you got a yoga practice, or whatever it is, you're doing a journey, maybe you do journey work every single day. You just create this foundation from which you can build. And I don't know about you guys, but I've led a pretty interesting life. I've got a lot of stories. I've got a lot of stories that I don't necessarily even want, right? And that's how this belief systems come into play. And they kind of get downloaded into you, and then you're stuck. But the good news is you're not really stuck. And meditation is one of the ways out. It doesn't stop with meditation, but it certainly can start with meditation. And that is what Joy and I do pull from a lot. It's like, oh, we have a conversation. Oh, well, maybe I need to go meditate on that. Or, we don't even say that to each other, because we don't need to say that to each other anymore. We already know that what we're doing. We know that we go and we sit in the inquiry and we do all of those things. But I think that even if you can start with just a 3 to 5 minute meditation practice, start with music, start with guided meditation if you need to. They always say the ultimate goal is to just be able to have a meditation practice where you're just able to sit there, and quiet, and but that's not the reality for a lot of us. So I'm going to say that I'm going to give permission right here and right now that it does not matter. It does not matter the way in which you meditate and you shut that mind down. Find a way that works for you. And even if it's just for a few minutes today, a few minutes tomorrow, a few minutes the next day, eventually you are going to have that foundation.
Absolutely. And, you are building a muscle. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of passion around meditation for us. And it is like building a muscle, which I think you definitely touched on, Sheree. And it's going to take time, but just allowing yourself to have those moments to reflect and go within and just listen. And another thing I would add is that, we're kind of like Sheree talked about the mind. Well, what meditation does is it helps you make that 2-foot drop. It helps you listen to the heart. So that inner voice that she spoke to, this is your higher self, right? I always say our higher self has all the wisdom. In other words, we already have all the wisdom in us. What meditation does is it kind of gives us a key to unlock that and listen to that voice, listen to that connection. We are all intuitive. We all have that sense, and we just need to trust it. Each and every one of us. has connected to that. And so all we're saying is that meditation will help you make that drop. And what that does is it allows you to zoom out and receive the clarity you need, so then you can zoom back in and walk through life with a bit more grace. That's all it's about, and having compassion for ourselves in all of it, because this is tricky stuff that we're navigating right now. So you guys might say, like, well, there's different ways to meditate, and how do I know what to focus on? How do I know what that looks like? And breath work is something that you definitely can do, because by focusing on the breath, you get out of your head and you get focused in on your body, like Sheree was speaking to, and that is wonderful. And then just sitting in and just experiencing those feelings after the breath work could be really amazing. Another way is by using affirmation cards or something, or reading a passage from a book that speaks to your soul. Just giving yourself a few words of inspiration for the day. I think that there is another word that we're not talking about, but there is prayer and meditation. They're both very much connecting to our higher self, connecting into self, like being with you. And I guarantee you that many of you are probably in a house with other people and you're not leaving your home. So there might be all kinds of fun stuff happening there too. But if you are alone, you might be thinking, Joy, we don't want to meditate. We are alone. But are you distracting yourself? Turning everything off and just being with you is what we're inviting you to do. So I love personally, I love affirmation cards. There's so many ways to go with that, but having one card a day to read and just be inspired really works for me. And then there's some amazing books. There's a book Oprah Winfrey wrote, This I Know for Sure. Oh my gosh, you can open up that book, read a paragraph, and just be like, thank you, Oprah. So there are different ways to do that. But giving yourself a little bit of inspiration of what to meditate on can be really, really helpful. And I highly recommend that. Sheree, what else? What other tools? I think journaling might be a good one to talk about.
Well, and that's, I think too, I'll say a little something and then you can speak, because I know she's quite a journaler. Like, I envy her journaling skills, because I'm actually getting better, by the way, Joy. I'm getting better. So so for years and years and years, I wrote and I'm going to put out a book and blah 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 blah, and that just didn't happen. And so, like, I think I just moved away from writing. And recently I've been writing, and for me, I feel that they kind of go together. They don't have to go together, right? But they really beautifully go together, because you can have a meditation and, we talk a lot, you hear the buzzword downloads a lot. But really what we're talking about is just to have that intuitive thought, that might come in that maybe doesn't necessarily seem like it's coming from your regular operating system. It's more of like something you're like, what's that? So I think like a really cool thing to do is have a meditation practice, and then immediately after your meditation practice, go into journaling. Because I think you might find that when you go back and you read what you wrote, it might be shocking sometimes. I know it is for me. There are just parts that you're able to access within you that just kind of come out on the pages, and that might not be available in other situations. So I say that there's something that you really could do together.
For sure. Yeah. Well, and that's the key. So my simple practice, like no matter what, tried and true, pull an affirmation card, read it, meditate, and then journal. That's what I like to do. That's those 3 steps are probably the most mighty things that have changed me in the last 15 years. By putting that into practice, it absolutely changed the way I look at life, the way I look at my own business, the way I look at my family, and so to add to journaling, what I would say is, I kind of already touched on it, but, I think there's something important at this time, because I want to speak to this time that we're in too. It's not just because what we're talking about, you can do anytime, right? But I think what's really important right now is to hold space in a way that is sending your love out. because we are all confined. And so what would that look like, right? So if you're going to journal, maybe you're journaling what your thoughts are for the day. Maybe you're writing even some of your fears, but then to shift that, to allow the love tipping point to happen. And what I mean by that is by putting some love in the ingredients, we change our state. We go from fear to love pretty quickly. And what that can look like is saying a prayer for someone, sending your love to someone, right? So by doing that, saying, I need to connect for me, I need to listen to my own heart, but I'm also going to send love and, good things out to the world in those moments too. And then the last thing I would do after that is I would get really grateful, writing some words of gratitude, because it's really hard. It's so easy to think of what's wrong right now. And one of the biggest shifts that we need, which is what I think April is really about, my friends, is that we're going to stop pointing fingers and we're going to start looking at solutions. Okay. So if you bring in a journaling practice and you start thinking about that, like, this is my struggle right now. Maybe you write that out because you need to get it out, and that's okay. But then going into, let me say a prayer and let me be grateful. Let me be grateful. Right? So that's kind of like, I think, the perfect ingredients to have a really great day. Believe it or not, even if you can't get in the car and drive nowhere, or you can't go see your BFF and give them a big old hug, you at least can really fuel yourself for a great day and a great experience. And I know time is starting to escape from us. Sheree, what do you want to add?
There was something that I wanted to add about, I'm going to have to bring in the movement piece here a bit. I think it's extremely important to move our bodies. I can sit here for hours and hours and talk about why that's important. I don't think I need to. I think that we all, at this point in our lives, we all know what that means and why it would be important to do that. We know what can happen as a result of doing that. We know that we feel better. I'm sure that everyone on the call here knows that feeling of feeling like, just bogged down and like those, I call them grungies, but those grungy feelings. And then you go out into nature, you go out for a walk, and like immediately you feel better. That's movement, that you're moving your body. And so I like to think of movement in that way, of moving. I do a lot of interpretive dance. I do a lot of movement in any kind of yoga that I teach, freedom movement. It's quite funny and it makes people feel uncomfortable at the beginning, but then they understand and they start to get it, because why they start to actually experience their experience. They start like, oh, wow, this does feel good. This feels good to move and just let this go and put down that looking good conversation, and so that's one thing that I definitely encourage. It's not something you guys have to do where everyone's going to be seeing it. You don't have to film it and put it on Facebook like I do. I do that to inspire people to do this, right? It's not always super comfortable, but like, you can do it for yourself. You can do it while you're at home. I think a lot of things, that I do and a lot of things that I practice, may seem a little weird, but like, I think one thing that I wanted to touch on really quick.
Uh-oh, she froze. Oh, Stephanie's got that look on her face.
Did we lose each other, Grace?
I think Sheree's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Shoot. But I'm going to say this. We have a sacred circle that we do in person normally, and Sheree gets the movement going, and I look at her and she knows I do not want to move. I do not want to do this freedom movement. I'm in struggle and I'm her partner, right? And I support that and I'm encouraging that we do it, but I still don't want to do it. Does that make sense? Like, I know it's good for me. And, but I think what Sheree is saying is like having that invitation just to turn up the jams and shake it. I think there's something really powerful in that, clean your kitchen with music, whatever inspires you. If you have kids around, get them involved. Maybe you have to listen to some music that it's not your first pick, but move to it anyways. Let the laughter come, let the freedom come. Sheree, you froze. So I just started.
Yeah, I was all talking and then I'm like, wait a second. And then you start talking, like, oh, I think I froze. Yeah. So, yeah,
so we
that's
had
just
you.
really-
We had your back.
Yeah, thank you. That's just my message. I always feel like anytime I have the opportunity to share my message, share our message with Sacred Living, movement has to be brought up because I really, really believe in it, you guys. And I don't really talk about things that I don't experience myself, you know? So I know that it's been amazing for me. So I say try it and see how you feel.
Yeah. So hopefully we've given you guys quite a few things, you know. What's one thing that you haven't, haven't thought of or even considered in this time that you now can, plug into your daily, right? Or maybe you're doing a variation of this, but maybe this inspires you to do it more often, because when we're having good days and bad days and the ebb and flow, like this is happening. You are not alone. We are in it together. I know we forget that. I know that sometimes as business women, we feel like we have to show up a certain way and we're pushing and we're forcing. I see you. I see you pushing, right? Maybe it's time to pull back a little bit. Maybe it's time to stop and reflect and ask yourself, like, what can I do for me? What can I bring in a ritual, in a foundational way, my day to day, that will support this reflection time? This is our opportunity. I say, take it, take the opportunity, Sure. I guess we're about out of time, Miss Stephanie.
Yeah.
So we just want to invite you guys to join our community. It's Sacred Living with Joy and Grace. We have a Facebook group and we have a podcast that's on all platforms under that same name. We also have our Sacred Circle, which we took virtual last month. And so that's something that we do in person and virtually now. So if you're interested in, you can ask us, and we'll make sure all of our info is available. Of course, I think it already is in the event, Stephanie.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sister. I really appreciate you holding this space for us so we can share our love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I want to do a quick introduction of Miss Amanda. Are you still there, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So can you just say your name, what company you work with, and just a little bit about yourself? Because we've known each other for a few years, but I haven't had a chance to really see you very much. So hello.
Hi. Yeah, my name's Amanda Camacho. I'm with the Hayes Camacho Group. I live in Citrus Heights, and I service pretty much greater Sacramento up until West Roseville for helping people buy and sell real estate.
Perfect. Thank you. And don't you also do something else like events and stuff?
Well, I host events just for my clients, but my husband and I also own a residential and commercial painting company as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Okay, great. Well, I'm so glad you guys could join us today. Was there any other things that you guys wanted to talk about, or anything else you guys wanted to bring up real quickly? Or any concerns or anything you need help with?
I was just going to say, Joy, can you post your page on the Empower page?
Yes.
So it's like, I'm trying to find it now and I can't find it. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That would be wonderful. Thank
Facebook
you.
is funny like that, you know?
It's all interesting to me for sure. Well, let's do a quick picture of everyone together real quick. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so can I have everyone's beautiful faces smiling? Hold on one second. You're going to have to see my face in here. Okay, ready, guys? Beautiful. And
So
thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this was able to encourage you. I know I personally did. Joy has a YouTube channel, and she has a meditation. And the other day I did it because I was having a very rough, weird, bad day. I mean, when you work in the stock market and it goes down 10,000 points, you tend to freak out a little bit, right? And so that's what I do for a living. And so it was an interesting combination. But I did that meditation, and within, just a short amount of time, I felt just 1,000 times better. And so, if you get a chance to check it out. It was super helpful for me, honestly, because I was, really stressed out. And I literally just went from super stressed to like, I'm good. Like, I got this. I can handle this. And that's really rare for me to be able to go from like freak out mood to like de-stressing. Anybody who knows me is like, knows I go, 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 go. But sometimes it's really nice to just kind of, and everything's You know, everything's okay. So thank you so much for being here today, ladies, and thank you so much for your input. And I just want to say you guys are all loved and appreciated. And if you need anything from Empower, or if you know anybody who needs help with like homeless or women and children, please let us know, because we are here to help people. And I know people are in really rough situations right now. We are here to help. So please let us know. Okay. And then with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk hopefully very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
All right.
everyone.
Stephanie.
I love you. Thank you.
Bye.